Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo. Today's video is all about some weird contraption my friend gave to me. Since we teach jewelry making class up at the Senior Center, we're always getting people donate jewelry making items and beads to us. And the other day, that's what happened. She was given a bunch of stuff and she wanted me to go through most of it. So she brought me all this stuff and was going through it. And in one bag was this thing. And then there was a lot of wire and beads and containers and some tools, which I knew what most of it was. Then in the tools, there were these things. And I was like, I don't know what these are. And I was told to go through them and then whatever I didn't want, just to give back to her, and we would offer it to the people in our jewelry making class. Now I know a lot of you are probably going, oh, I know what that is, but I had no idea. Anyway, so when I brought it back, she says, you sure you don't want that? I said, well, do you know what it is? She says, no. And so I started looking at it a little bit better, and I see a patent number on here. So I thought, you know what? I'll see if I could Google search the patent number. Lo and behold, I figured out what it was. So when I looked up the patent, they called it the Coiling Gizmo. What a perfect name, because it is a gizmo. So I came home and I YouTubed it and Googled it, and I found out how to use it. And then I made myself a necklace here. Isn't that cool? And we're actually going to make some earrings to match this. So here's the gizmo, and it has 4 sets of little holes here. There must be one of these missing because I only have 3 of these. But the big one goes in the big hole. Like that. And then we have the next size and next size down. But we're going to do earrings today. So I'm going to use the littlest one I have. I wish I had the tinier one, but that's okay. Beggars can't be choosers, right? So in addition to your gizmo, you're going to need some wire. And we're going to start out with some 24 gauge wire. I'm also going to use some 20 gauge wire. And I have various beads and all. Since we're making earrings, I'm going to use some I've got these in antique brass, the ear wires. And the beads I'm going to use came from the Bargain Bead Box Holiday Cheer, which was November 2022. I'm using the carnelian English cut crystals, and I forgot what these things are called, but we're going to use these crystal tube beads. We always work with our wire on the spool. And when I looked it up, I'm going to have to turn it this way since I'm right-handed. I want to turn it like that. They had you hook it onto this whole thing, but I'm wondering if that's a lot of wasted wire, and I don't like to waste things. So I'm going to see if maybe it'll work if I just loop it right here and twist it. It may not work that way, but let's see. And that way I have less waste. Maybe. All right, so once I have it hooked on there, I'm just going to start coiling. And just go around and around and around. Once I get enough, a little bit on there, I'm going to push it here. And I'm going to just keep coiling and push as I coil. And earrings. Yesterday when I was making this necklace, I was just doing it. I wasn't measuring anything, and that's why I didn't make earrings, because I should have measured my coil. I was thinking of maybe doing 5 inches. Let me get a ruler. Okay, I got my ruler. I'm not for sure I'll need 5 inches. Let's see, how many inches do we have here? That's 2 inches. Ooh. I think I'm going to do about 3 inches. The 3-inch thing on this ruler is really hard to find. So I have about 2.5 inches here, and I don't think I'm going to go any further. I'm going to go ahead and go to 2.5 inches. Okay, that's about 2.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off of the gizmo. And we have ourselves a coil. I'm going to make another one because I want them to be the exact same size. So I have my 2 coils. They're about the same size. And I'm going to kind of tuck those ends just a little bit so they're not sticking straight up. And then we're going to get our 20 gauge wire, and we are going to put our coil onto the 20 gauge wire like so. And we're going to get our little coiler stick back in there. And we're going to hook it in. Okay. I just wrapped it around. I'll be wasting a little bit more wire, but it's not that much more. All right, so I'm going to go around 5 times. 1, 2, 3. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3. 1 more. Okay. Push them together. And then I'm going to bring the coil up, and we're going to start coiling the coil. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Oh my goodness. All right, so now we're at the end, and I'm going to go around 5 times again. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm going to push it together a little bit. Clip it off. And I probably didn't need to go 2.5 inches. I think we probably would have been fine at 2 inches. But this is a learning curve for me. Some of you have probably used one of these quite a bit. Look at that. Just tuck in those wires a little bit and you have yourself a bead. Isn't that the coolest? You could just use it like that on a necklace, and maybe you could, well, actually, you could just put chain on either side here and have a necklace just like that. Or you could do 3 of them, or how many ever. I'm going to make the other one of these for our earrings, and then I'll be back. So we have our beads. I just wanted to show you something here before we get into the rest of this. You could just take a small chain. Look at that. You have yourself a really cool necklace. All right, so we got our 2 beads here. And we're going to need some more of this 20 gauge wire. And of course we're going to need some ear wires. And we need 2 of these really pretty tube beads in a cream color. These came from the Bargain Bead Box, Christmas Cheer. That was November of 2022. And then we're going to use a couple of these English cut carnelians. They don't really match. Let me see. I'm going to try to get them to match as much as possible. So I could either go the lighter ones or the dark ones. I think I'll go the lighter ones. This kind of looks Christmassy, but it's very fall looking too. So this is something that I can wear now. It's almost Thanksgiving when I'm filming this. I don't know when I'm actually going to put it up, but it will take me into the Christmas holidays too. All right, so I need to get my tools out. I need my round nose pliers. There they go. And let me get my example here as to what I did. So basically, I'm going to start out by hanging this guy. And, oh, okay, I remember what I did. I made one of my knotted head pins. So I'm going to do a couple of little loopies here. And let's see, I need it to be able to go up this, up through here, up through here, and then I'm going to need, let's see, how much did I cut there? About 6 inches after I made loops. All right, I'm going to feed that into the loops. Pull it tight so we have a little knot. I'm going to put my bead on there. And I'm going to make a messy wrapped loop there. Sorry, I think I got out of the shot there. Okay, clip that off. And always tuck your wire in. Okay, so we got that done. And then the next thing I need to do is I'm going to make a loop, messy wrapped loop. And I'm going to hang that on there. And finish wiring. Or wrapping, rather. And tuck that in. Whenever we're working with wire, we want to make sure we tuck everything in because it can scratch you. It could get caught up on your clothes, and especially if you're wearing lace, you don't want that to happen. That's still sticking out a little bit, so I need to tuck it in a little bit better. And when you are tucking in, you need to be careful that you're not on top of your beads because you could crack them. Okay, so we have this little dangle here. And now we're just going to put our coil bead on there. Actually, I should have made that loop bigger. So we're going to do a little something different. So let me show you here. When you put that on there, it could feed all the way where the loop is inside here. I don't want that. So I'm going to get a couple more of these carnelians, and we're going to go with the darker ones because I see we have more darker ones. And I'm going to put a carnelian bead at the bottom here. Then I'm going to put my coil bead, and then we're going to put another carnelian bead at the top. See how nice it's going to look? And then we're going to make a messy wrapped loop here. And I want it messy looking because it gives it a little more of an organic look, like a branch. And especially this kind of could be a representation of a tree. You know, sometimes the branches get kind of messy. All right, now all we have to do is hang it on our ear wire. Don't want to open that up too much because I probably should have gone ahead and put the ear wire on before I wrapped it. I have had some issues with some of these earrings breaking anyway, or these ear wires. So there we go. There is our earring. Now let me make the other one and then I'll put them on for you. It's a little bit bigger than my pendant, but that's okay. I wanted it to be a little bit smaller, but these are going to be very much statement earrings. And there they are, all finished. Aren't these fun? And there's all kinds of things you can do with that little gizmo thingy. I know people have used them in scrapbooking. For all my friends out there that scrapbook, have you used a coiling gizmo? I think that's what they call it, a coiling gizmo for scrapbooking. I'm kind of curious as to how that would be. I do a little bit of scrapbooking, so I don't know, I might use it. Something else that people use it for is they'll coil it. They'll use probably one of the bigger sticks, and they make a big long coil, and then they clip it off into jump rings. I need to try that. Those of you who have actually made jump rings with this, I'm curious, what kind of wire do you use? Because this wire that I am using, they call it artistic wire, craft wire, and it's really, really soft. I don't see how you can make jump rings out of this and they be sturdy enough. So let me know what type of wire you use. This is 20 gauge, but it's still a little too soft to use as a jump ring. I know if you use it like on a necklace and your necklace got pulled, which, I mean, I've got grandbabies, a lot of us have children, they get yanked. It would yank right off of your neck if I had used in any of those jump rings made out of wire like this. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for joining me today. I've got to skedaddle out of here because I have a line dance class to go to. Who said being a senior citizen is boring and there's never anything to do? Let me tell you something. As a senior citizen, I am quite the busy one. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.